Well, 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 if it isn't the mighty and powerful Lord Tetris himself. We
It's
meet
true.
again for the
We
last
meet again.
time. No, probably not for the last time. I think there's still a few weeks left. Um,
True.
but how are you? How are things? Are you
I'm
ready
all
to look
right.
at some Fox Peach?
I guess so. I think I'm a little like all right. Peach for me has always been like a little bit of a shaky thing because it was like for a long time I didn't really care to like grind or anything like that. I just kind of played and entered tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like in my head, Peach is like this character I can go up against in bracket and I'm either just like rinsing or I'm getting rinsed,
Mm.
even with the same person. So it's like there's definitely something I didn't get for a long time.
Okay. So we have a few options available for you today.
Hmm.
I figured I would let you decide who we take a look at, and we're gonna have some. There are gonna be some names in here that you might not like. You might be like, "Why on earth are we picking that set?" I assure you, there is a method to my madness.
Okay, all right.
But we have Mango versus, and whenever you see him it says Mango, like, oh, let's analyze Mango. Like we're off to a good start. So Mango versus Triff from Gommel.
Hmm.
So that is one option. I'm also going to say Joshman versus Laud from the Ludwig Invitational last year.
Ooh.
Um, and what's one more that we can go with? Who else is... Oh, Moki versus Triff from Genesis. You know, from
Ooh.
Genesis, yeah.
Um, I would be so in my heart of hearts, I would love to watch the mango, but I think my brain is telling me that I think I mesh the best with Josh, man,
Okay,
and the way he makes his decisions.
okay,
I think whenever I watch Josh, man, in my brain, I'm like, yeah, that just makes sense.
30%.
okay. Would it maybe make sense to potentially watch Mango then on the basis that you don't understand how he does it?
That's fair. Granted, I haven't watched much Josh Man play Pete, so maybe it's like, who knows? But you know what? I like where you're coming from.
Yeah,
I
like
will
it.
say, I
Mm-hmm.
will say that Mango playing Fox is in Mango playing Fox circa 2015 ish was actually what had me switch from Puff to Fox at the time.
You know, it was funny. I was talking with Monk the other day, and one of the things I said was that I got the impression that you have a very SoCal, you have certain SoCal sensibilities in your playstyle. And I was like, so when you tell me, I originally thought Lucky, but I am not surprised to hear Mango. I'll put it
Yeah,
that way.
yeah,
So, can you see my screen?
yeah.
Fantastic. So let's take a leisurely stroll through Fountain of Dreams.
So what's your methodology here for watching VODs like this? You watch them through and then go over? Do you watch? Okay, I see. It's already okay.
I don't know.
A
Like
little bit
we
slowed down, ready to.
Yeah, we're just taking a stroll. There's like, so what do you notice about the positioning?
Um, a lot of Mango definitely always Mango's Fox always willing to just like I don't know the phrases. He runs up, but not in a way that he's just doing it. There's always like an action in there that takes a variable amount of time that makes it weird. Like he puts out a laser and then nares you, or like he like does this little dash dance here.
Yeah, and I like how he uses his shield because it's like very tempting for like if we think about the Peach power open ups at this percent, they're probably like FC aerial down smash,
Mhm.
some kind of down smash, maybe without the FC aerial in front of it. Dash attack. I feel like those three are like definitely things that we have to be considering. Especially like weak hit. I feel like the kind of like the Vogue Peach thing is like that weak hit nair or like weak hit back air into down smash early game, where you just kind
Mhm.
of like put yourself into like the +or -0 position next to Fox, when you both like land,
Yeah.
and then you're just like, all right, just rip it, baby. Like,
Yeah. True.
uh, I really like the use of the Sakurai angle here too. Like, did you catch that?
On the nair.
Yeah. The way he just kind of like grazes him with it. You see what I mean?
I see. Yeah.
And then he gets his shield up, and then he could have like potentially like gotten the shine punish, gets the air. So let's talk about like the like so why do you think he's going for so much like why do you think he's shielding in the early game aside from that? Do you think it's like just that it plays around relevant threats, or is there like more to it than that? Like, is a spade just a spade here, do you think?
My two immediate guesses are A, what we just talked about with the down smash stuff, where it's like, okay, if I'm gonna like break Peach's zone and I decide to use something that's not gonna just totally win me this new, like, use that, like you said, the Sakurai angle there. Shield gets around the down smash when you put yourself at that kind of plus or minus zero situation. And the other thing might be that like the game state might flow towards Peach looking for grab because the shield is showing up a lot, and that might, I don't know if he wants that to happen, but I'm sure he's probably ready for it.
I would say that we definitely want that to happen. Like, look at this. Look at what happens out of this scramble.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
So we're like conditioning her. We're creating like opportunities for her to go for. We're trying to tell her, don't go for the frame 5 move that's invincible on your legs and covers both sides of you and does like 60 damage to me. Go for your grab. It hits on 7. It's tiny. Like, obviously that's the right play.
Of course. Yeah.
What do you notice? Like, so let's talk about attack angles. So if we had to like put Peach in the air and think about like where she is weakest, where would you say like where are her moves most effective?
I would say horizontal to her.
Okay.
So like that full cancel like Nair, or God forbid, like Bear. Bear can be so annoying to get around sometimes when you're trying to like juggle or something. It's just those like spots, like it's almost like it's not quite 45 degrees like under her, but it's like a little bit shallower than that, but roughly that. She tends to be strong at hitting that.
Yeah. So let's like look at the spots that like Mango is choosing to attack when he's going into the air. Like what spots like how he positions relative to her. I also want to point out rushing down when Peach has the turnip. So like not allowing her to breathe once she pulls it.
Yeah.
Because like the fuck does she do there? Like,
she's not gonna put out an aerial, yeah.
She can put out a float aerial and she can throw the turnip ineffectually at her Nair. And that's like those are her options. Oh, she can also umbrella. Umbrella's unironically not a bad. Like umbrella shield and then into umbrella is not as unironically not a bad idea there. But like this is significantly less scary than like, wow, what if she just like down smashes us and kills us? Now look at this pressure. Like look at how he does this zone. Like puts up the wall here. So it's like
this is classic.
And it attacks Peach's weak spots really well. Like he's just taking vertical spacing and then like creating a diagonal that her main moves don't like cover. So this is actually a perfect moment. Let's grab Peach and float here and create a diagonal.
I guess I never really considered that above diagonal to be that bad for Peach, but I guess it is when you think about it.
It is so fucking bad. Like, let me tell you. Actually, no, don't tell. I won't tell you. I will show you. So
I see.
Let's grab. We'll have Peach be represented by this, and we will turn. So would you say her Nair hits around here at like this arc, at this trajectory?
Yeah.
Cool. I agree. And that means that this is deadly. So, with that in mind, there's also like another ball on her, isn't there? Like there's one that's kind of like here when she Nairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Covers her body.
Yeah, like covers her body, but not very well. Doesn't cover her head. So what about when she fares? It's probably like what, like this arc kind of thing.
Sure. Yeah.
Like kind of like this, but like it's not like she just does it like and it hits this area. Like there's kind of like two. I'm gonna do this in two. So like we're gonna turn this, and we'll make this a bit.
It's very sword-like.
Yeah, she's got like the sword crown hands thing. So then she's kind of got like this, but this is slow, and that's important to acknowledge. So what we'll do is we will mark this with a timer. Clock. So like mark this with a clock. So like this is like slower than the others. And then we've got her back air, which is like the last section, which is here. So and finally we have her like up air, which is kind of like a pretty narrow hitbox. I'm not going to do like the full thing. But we can like represent it by kind of like being like here. But again, like it's also active for 2 frames, so we're not going to use the same color actually. We're going to use like orange. Or no, orange is too simple. We'll use green. Green. Because it's out for a very, very short time. So, we can agree that this is basically what Peach's like threat composition is, right?
Yeah.
So like all of the weakest parts of her coverage are all on this side and they're all above her.
Yes.
So like this is a very, very weak area for her in general. Like this whole section of her body is like very, very, very at risk. So with that in mind, what do you think, like let's look at like how these back airs would be hitting relative to Fox. Like if Fox is here, where does his back air go? His back air probably goes, oh, let's use blue for him. When you're the Fox player, help me out. Like where does it hit relative to Fox?
If I'm shield dropping or if I'm short hopping here?
Either, like where Mango is. Let's say he's like falling through the platform here.
Yeah, I'd say it's about a Fox length away. I'd push it into him a little bit.
So like here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And is this the right
Maybe
size?
maybe a little smaller. Well, actually, I like that.
Yeah. So like
I do like that.
So if we think about like how we angle this on this and how we put Fox, like if this box represents Fox, Fox in a box. If we put this box like here, along with its hitbox, oh, that's supposed to be a circle. Let me grab the circle. Around this hitbox here, you can see how this like just forms like an effective wall to like hit her with, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like, what the hell does she do? She doesn't have a move here. She has her slowest move in something that's out for 2 frames, and also slower than our move. Like this is absolutely abominable. This is so weak. So I'm gonna give this to you. And I want us to like remember that this isn't the only like attack that we have on Fox. Like we also would have a nair in front of him, like about here. This is part of why that full hop nair works. Like the noob, like we call it the noob nair, but like it does work. Like, and I want us to understand that because this is like a big component of that.
Yeah.
So like one thing, like, and then again, we just like have him coming up, like its speed also makes it devastating when she's got turnips in hand. So what Mango is doing a really good job of is making it unclear like how Triff is supposed to defend against him. You see that, right?
Yeah.
Like, because like when he commits for this jump and like jumps forward, Triff is like, okay, what the hell do I do? I'm gonna attack this spot that he was, but then Mango like retreats and goes into like shield with Waveland. Like, Waveland's back goes into shield, and then he gets, like, he messes this up, but he should have had a free, like, conversion on that.
That was a punish, yeah.
Yeah.
I see.
Doesn't let him land. Boom. You can see, like, he's smothering him. This is
absolutely.
This is the Peach with, like, the second best defense in the world. Other than, I personally think Lord has better. I'm just gonna come out and say that.
Okay, let it be known.
I think that Triff is like second best on defense, but you know what? But this is like the second most durable like player with this character in the world, and he's just like melting him. Like,
yeah, true.
Like why? And this also gives us a basis for understanding why this worked. Because again, like if we think about like look at the Peach diagram again, and like look at where he's aiming at her. What does she have that covers that spot? Nothing.
Right. I do have like one thought, and it's that I do often end up something that makes me like feel lost versus Peach is that often I'll end up in positions where I'll do like the quote unquote noob nair into something like center, which notably he's not doing. So you know the cards vary. However, the point being is that I often feel like my nair or back air lose to Peach nair, or at least trade, which is usually what I don't want.
So maybe like, so I would say that like, yeah, they probably are putting like a lot of effort into making sure that the noob nair doesn't work against them because it's so like devastating when it does work. But to your point, is it that it's losing to it, or is it that you hit them and then they trade after?
It is trading directly with their nair, like my nair meets theirs.
Okay, and then you trade, right?
Yeah, and sometimes it happens with back air too, but I think it's because I'm too close, so I'm not hitting with like the leg, I'm hitting with like the thigh, which, you know, enables trading.
Yeah, I would say that. So I would also say that the noob nair, remember, you have the entire other, like, so if we grab Fox's nair hitbox real quick. Let me just grab Fight Core. So this is Link. This is not Fox. We don't want We don't want Link. We want Fox. Okay.
The other Echo guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's take a look at this move. So when you're doing the Nair forward, I would hazard a guess that are you hitting here, like at the tip of his foot, or are you hitting here?
If I'm full hopping, it's very likely I'm hitting the blue one.
Okay, there you go. So this is a spacing thing. We need to like hit with the tip of our foot.
Yeah.
So you want to be hitting with this because this is where you're actually like disjointed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So I think it's just like it's literally just a spacing thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, what did I do? Ah. So let's talk about Final Destination because it is like the premier counter pick of this matchup.
Yeah.
Why didn't actually question? Why did we keep that open versus the Peach player in Cruise? Like, you have a ban, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So
versus Clay.
Yeah. So how come we? What did you ban? Dreamland? I'm assuming. Or like
I think I banned Fountain.
Okay. Is it because down smash go burr?
No, I well kind of, but it's primarily
It was like, don't lie to me.
it's like that kind of, but it's honestly a lot of it's comfort. I'm really not comfortable moving on that stage. I get stuck a lot. As embarrassing as this say, that stage really does get me stuck a lot.
No,
but also like I don't know. There's a certain part of me that's like I played against a lot of Peach when I was in like high school, so like 2015, 2016, and because that was yeah. Oh.
Like I want to take a picture of that and frame it on our wall. Like this is just so good. Like using everything that we just went over, like with hitbox manipulation and like attacking the right spot of the opponent's body. Like let's just break this down, like how good this is for a second. So like let's start with what Triff is doing. That's like pretty good. So she has her like arms outstretched like this. He's doing like Peach's like bulldozer move. Like it's probably like around this hit trajectory because I think that she's like mid spin right now. And then where does Mango go? Directly on top of like Mango just like draws the perfect arc with his Nair after like getting her to like exhaust most of the hitbox. So the worst thing that happens is he trades weak hit here, but then like he just attacks directly on her little face, on her Peach little face.
A little astounding that hand doesn't hit here. That's crazy.
So I actually think that part of why this works is that the move is actually over. So if we go into like Peach's Nair hitbox, see what I mean? Once her arm sideways, like it's But this can be useful for us to know because like what this means is keep going. So like what this means is like her arm stopping is like something that we can refer to as an opening. So when she starts hanging here like this is a problem. And the other thing that's worth noting as well is IASA is on 42. Yeah, so it auto cancels at this point, but it's not actually interruptible until here. So like this is a pretty large opening for us to work for, like to work with, like in this kind of context. So like this is actually like insane because obviously that's what's going on. Like we can kind of track based on that Triff doesn't have a hitbox from this point onward.
Yeah. You can really see the exact moment Mango picks up on it too in the dash dance timing.
Yeah.
Like that move came out and then he's like, oh, let me just go hit it.
And he just drags it out like right into the corner and then like so let's talk about this combo choice. I don't like this obviously because it sucks, but like what do we do instead here?
Out of the Nair specifically, or instead of getting the Nair? Because I think the Nair was good.
Instead of like out of the Nair specifically.
So
I have an answer, but it's like kind of wacky. It's night. But like
my my immediate instinct is to like try and like intuit the angle off of the hit, like watch the DI, and then either go for up smash or up air depending on how high she goes.
Oh, Tat, we can be so much meaner to her. Let's be let's where's the creativity? Where's the pizzazz? Let's order
I
off
mean,
the.
you could go for soft nair or another nair if you wanted
I
to, but it's a little high.
I love that, but like we want to keep her low, right? Like we don't want to
Yeah,
send her too far away. So here's my thinking. We know her moves suck when she's like when we're above her, right?
yeah,
So what if we like full hop above her, weak nair, and then like or weak nair fair, and like come down on her because she's gonna drift this way. She has to. But
yeah.
like, what if we like while she's drifting this way? What if we like arc and like weak nair around here, like, and then drag it on top of her body as she's
Okay.
like falling,
That's
right?
a lot like the spacey ender that a lot of people do on like platform stages where you do the full hop, over and then you do like a soft nair dragging down and you get like your up smash or something. But it's like instead of
Yeah.
abusing spacey hit stun, you're abusing her blind spot out of the.
Uh
Okay,
huh.
sure.
Because she does a blind spot here. Yes, so that's what we're doing. We're making her miserable and unhappy, and then like we're making us
Ugh,
very happy because of it.
of course.
And then we get an up smash or an up air, and she dies. So then we're extremely happy. The cool thing here is you don't even necessarily have to weak hit it. You can just take the strong hit, and if she's survival, you guys, you just up air her over here anyway.
True. Okay, fair.
Like, you see what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
There's a kill for every occasion.
It's interesting the way that you went back onto like I think in my head there's two types of punish, right? There's like the ones that you get directly out of your hit stun, and there's the ones that you abuse their disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
And I find it interesting the way that you latched onto obvious like it's obvious to say it out loud, but when you went for us like a quote unquote disadvantage punish, you did something that latched onto that kind of like weakness. In my head, if I were to go for a disadvantage kind of punish there, I would look for like shark up tilt or something, which is like while strong in a vacuum, not necessarily the strongest thing versus Peach.
Yeah, because she can wade over it with her float.
Yeah, exactly.
Or she can just like double jump, like land away from you, and then like she's back in neutral. We don't want that because she's actually
Yeah,
quite good. She's actually quite competitive with us in neutral because that's like kind of one of her superpowers. She's one of the best scrapping characters in the game because honestly, Peach is like if Peach was like even a smidgen faster, like we would all like hate this character. Like we would loathe this character so much. We're so lucky she's like the worst, like she has the worst ground speed in the game, like or like the third worst ground speed in the game. Because God, can you imagine her if she was like able to get over? Like imagine if she was as fast as Mario.
not even like Fox or Falcon. Give her a plumber. Yeah, okay,
Give her
fair
like
enough.
a plumber jump squat and a plumber traction and plumber dash speed, and like this character becomes a nightmare.
Oh, I don't want to think about Peach with traction. That's way. I don't like with low traction. No.
Yeah, like all of a sudden she can like wave dash back down smash, but like actually outspace things. Like no, you don't want that. Nobody wants that smoke.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think I was like largely fine at abusing her lack of speed, but like I didn't actually have anything I felt comfortable doing with that advantage. Where I was like, I just can't hit her.
Yeah,
But like, it's
exactly.
because I wasn't abusing the blind spot like that.
Exactly. So, with that in mind, you can see why I was kind of like hoping we would pick Mango in terms of like this is why I recommended Mango because Mango is like if there's one thing Mango does well, it is infighting. Mango is
Yeah.
like the best player in the world at infighting, except for maybe like Zane on a good day. And like God, like the things that he hits on people are so good. And I think that with that in mind, I'm glad we didn't go with a Josh Man because Josh Man kind of doesn't have these strengths, and I feel like
Right.
I feel like we would get better at the same things that you're already good at, but like this opens up a dimension of the matchup that like also disgusting.
Love down tilt.
Like
Oh.
teeter cancel down tilt into friggin' up air just because we can, and look at how he's also still playing to Peach, like his advantages over Peach in the matchup. Peach is actionable here. Peach absolutely can move here, but what can she do?
Mhm.
Because he's playing to a range advantage. Like what's Peach's all other like big issue? Her lack of disjoints. She fights with her hands in close quarters. She fights with her butt at mid range or her hands still, and then like other than that, at far range she can access her turnip and like zone quite effectively, but like all in all she doesn't really have like a sword or sword legs the way that she can Falcon and Marth do. So what does she do? She like fights with her hands and feet just like a space animal does, but then like Fox is using his one like highly disjointed move here to like great effect. Like what the hell does she do here? And what I like about this is if he goes off and tries to shine her, Triff can contest that. Triff can try to like fight back with Nair here 100% of the time. Like Triff can like try to trade with try to trade Umbrella if Mango goes off with Shine, like by falling under it and then coming up and uppercutting him, or like he can put it at his arms to like thing. But this doesn't allow him to do that. And that's like what makes this play so special. It doesn't allow him to do that, and it still gets the kill.
Mm-hmm.
Neat, huh?
Yeah. Big Fox down tilt fan for sure.
Oh yeah.
That kind of stuff. It's especially because she doesn't have access to stage there. It's so good for that. Because like, what you're gonna do? Flow cancel something? No.
Well, so
There's no stage.
So that brings up something actually that I wanted to like actually address. Down tilt is like one of the best moves in the game at sweeping like floaty characters that are like coming out of disadvantage. Like this should be something that is just on the table, generally speaking, because by sweeping like think about like where Fox, like if Peach is coming down out of disadvantage with her Nair Bear and you like put your disjointed like pop up down tilt just about like just over like where like just to overlap with where they're going to come down, like what the hell do they do about that?
Yeah, I mean, okay, how do I phrase this? When we last spoke, we talked a lot about like maintaining specific zones through movement, right? And I think one thing about my play recently has been that I've had to remind myself to move around a lot more, right? Play to the Fox advantage and just have that movement on. And I think actually I got worse at that specific thing over the past couple of years, almost because I focused a little bit more on like trying to hold zones that I view as being beneficial. And as such, I used a lot more of my tilts, such as down tilt, up tilt, etc. And it's almost going to be like, I think the next thing, as like the next grander thing for me in general, is going to be finding like a reasonable way to weave those two things together such that I'm not just putting out my tilts and trying to zone like I'm a swordsman, but also simultaneously continuing to move around.
So here's the secret. Because yeah, like we can answer that so easily. Because there's a concrete way to do it. Just wait till you're in advantage state.
Okay. Yeah.
Like,
yeah. All right. I like that. All right.
Like,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like there's more to it than that, but like as a starting point, like look at the moves that Mango chooses to go for when he's like he goes for like the things that keep him the most actionable, the most like give him like the most, keep his like his flexibility highest, while also still accomplishing useful things. Like he's still using his shield and his wave dash, but like it again, he is doing them in spots where like we're going for them is. So that one was like the worst fast fall I've ever seen. I don't know why he decided that was the spot to fast fall, but whatever. Yeah, like what we have going on here is like he's still going for he's valuing efficiency basically, and we can agree that with that. Like he's obviously valuing efficiency here, until he goes for like this crap. What was that? Oh my god, it still worked. Jesus Christ. I'm so upset.
True.
But like he's still valuing efficiency for the most part. He's valuing flexibility. He's not valuing power as highly. Because like I would say that like your tilts are better combo starters and like extension tools than your aerials, except for up air, just generally speaking. Mango is not like valuing those because he doesn't need the extra like force in these particular situations. Like he's not like there's no benefit to him specifically against like there's like the extra force doesn't really have any value to him against what Triff is doing. But after this up throw up air, we might get into a position where there is. Nope, he's gonna back off. Okay, cool. I think it might be because he had the turnip, weirdly enough, and like with the percentage. Because I feel like if Peach doesn't have the turnip, like we can kind of see how that would work, right? Where like you're able to like use your wave dash to stay underneath her more. Look for like the anti-air up tilt, wave dash under her. Like don't maybe mix up, not looking for the anti-air up tilt. Like dash out of the way after. Maybe like get behind her, like again, because her main way of coming down is usually her nair because it's her fastest thing, but like this whole stretch of her body is like exposed during that, so like you can get over here, then like if you're not shielding here, like if you're moving still, you can sometimes like get over here, then like jump at her and nair her this way, and then that's quite strong. Sometimes you can get over here, turn around, down. Like, if you're over here or over here, you can sweep her, you can down tilt her. Like, there's a lot more things that open up. It's just I think that particular shark was, like, kind of awkward. But you can kind of see what I mean about, like, how you set up that spot, right? Like, you're kind of, like, you're chipping away at her relevant, like get out of, like, her relevant, recovery resources. Because you wouldn't go for those kinds of things when she has her float. But... yeah, it's basically like once she's in advantage state and can't really like interact with your like once you're in advantage state and she can't really interact by like waiting, air quotes, and she has to just kind of like fall into you. That's I think then when you can start like really looking for like wave dash kind of things, because like again the big issue of those ground moves is that they are laggier. But if we're in a situation where they're like where their upfront power is more valuable because we've like created one, like a punish situation that conforms to that, then yeah, you can just keep like chunking damage. You can just keep pushing.
Makes sense. Yeah, for sure. I found a lot of one of the things that kind of made me addicted to a lot of like the wave dash like tilt stuff is how effective it's been for me versus in the Fox Ditto. It's been a hard habit to break of mine, because one of my most successful like neutral winning tools right now is like mixing up run through shine / run through nair and then doing like a short up tilt or like wave dash back up tilt. But I feel like that's like almost a little different. I can't really point why.
One thing I would say is that the Fox fighting space animals and fast followers in general rewards you for gambling.
True.
Because like, and it sounds silly to say it like oh, like how could it be so simple? But like that is just the reality of the situation. Fighting against like space animals forces you to like encourages you to gamble somewhat, because like you want to like hit combo starters against them. Like that's the reality of the situation, because like they're so fragile that like if you're not playing to like exploit that weakness, then like what are we doing here?
True. Also, can you go back a little bit? I saw something.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you go back to when Mango's to the left, so like not off the stage, but like there's like a back air that Mango puts out on right here. Or no, it was up there. My bad. He just went for it.
He went for like something very rewarding and powerful because he is Mango.
Because he's Mango, yeah. I was gonna say I thought his back air lost / traded with Peach Nair because it was misspaced there, but it in fact was up air.
No, he went for the greediest move that he could possibly go for, because he's up 2-1 and he's like, I'm gonna like style on this fool.
Yeah.
As he should.
True, King. You're God-given right.
Know your worth, King. Like, back air don't get into the highlight reel there. That's all I'm saying.
That's what the sponsor has you for. That's what you're there for. Get them.
But yeah, like you can see how he's just like he's boxing him out so effectively, which is crazy to think about, because like Peach is like the one character that's like better at this. But like, yeah, he's just what a beast. And I mean, like Triff just like reversal and killed him. I don't know if this goes to game 5. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, I feel like so my buddy used to tell me, this was 2016. I was talking to a friend who also played Fox about this matchup, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, you just nair them when they're in the air and you drill them when they're on the ground." And I kind of like never. Obviously, it's like such a deep simplification. But at the same time, like I never really thought about it until like somewhat recently when I realized I'm like, my nairs just are not working. I can't nair her in the air. What the hell?
Yeah,
but it's definitely because, it's definitely like obviously it's like a spacing issue, and I think like it's funny because it's just like looking at it now, it's like it's still kind of like you still do kind of nair her in the air.
Yeah, and the thing is,
it's just like, I've been doing it wrongly.
Well, the other thing I would say is that like, look. So drilling her in the air is fine. It's just you can't shine after. Look.
Yeah.
Because like if Mango like if Triff goes for the down smash and Mango shields or jumps it, then like he just gets that, right?
Yep.
And also like I want to point out how he does like the falling back, the back air follow up. Look at how he like makes sure to use every bit of the hit stun, and Triff is out of stun at that point, I think. But like because of how he's aligned the back air, He's still preying on the disadvantage, and he's able to get this, like, this great situation off of it. Does it lead to a kill? No. But, like, he also got another hit, which admittedly traded, but, like, he still got the extra damage with a lead. And then, like, yeah, he could have gotten a kill off of that.
Yeah.
Like, that was a slightly different shine timing away from being, like, actual lethal. Like, unbelievable. So, you seeing some things that you want to apply to your play? Getting some ideas?
Yeah, I think the primary idea I'm getting at here is much like I was doing when I was practicing Marth after the last session. I want to like pay a little bit more attention to the spacing I'm putting my moves out of and the zones I'm putting myself in order to attack that space.
Yeah, so there's one kind of like classic position versus Peach that like every single good character plays because they're good and like screw Peach, but it's this. So like why do you think people like gravitate towards this zone when they're like fighting this woman?
Because her longest threat at that point is probably just to start looking for dash attack, and it's like one of her most punishable things, and then on top of it you're threatening that nair stuff if she tries to do something in place. There's a lot she has to be scared of, and in order to stop you from doing it, she has to put herself at risk anyway. So it's like
I love that. That's absolutely correct. Wow, like you're really good at this game. I appreciate that.
wow.
No, but like there's even more to it than that. So like here, let's do fill. We'll do the fill for like we'll turn the fill off. That's fine. Is this off or is it opacity 1? No. Okay, it's fine. Outline, we'll do pink. So, we have Peach here. The mighty and powerful Peach dash attack zone. As we can see here, like, where do you think Peach is? If from a standing position, Peach dash attack hits what, like here?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, I'm glad that this is what I like about talking with good players. Like, we don't have to, like, waste time on, like, where does her dash attack go? It's like, no, and it doesn't hit the other end of the stage. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
They kept running, and then it hit me.
Yeah! Oh my god, it's like she read like 7 movements for like 2 seconds and got you the injustice of it all. Like,
I know.
Okay, cool. So dash attack zone. But there's other stuff she can do. So she can also pull her turnip, which is like not really a versus Fox thing, but it is like something that we like need to like acknowledge because it is something that she might do. And it is quite powerful and changes the context of the game somewhat. So, yeah, we have to, like, acknowledge its existence. So, we have Turnip here, too. We also have her float, the option for her to take to the skies and float, which we acknowledged here. So, and she can go she can do it at different heights as well. What would you say the highest float that she might feasibly do? Like here?
She could, but I feel like Peaches are most likely to float like right under the platform, right?
Yeah, so let's acknowledge. We'll acknowledge that this exists, but like realistically, it's going to be like here or like here.
Yeah.
Depending on what she's up to.
She wants to keep access to like flow cancel nair land or like fair, like pretty low.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll make this the light pink, so because it's not as likely to happen. So with this all in mind. How does Fox's jump? What's Fox's jump shape again? I feel like it's just kind of like woo.
Yeah, pretty much. If I'm gonna nitpick, maybe it goes a little like I don't know. Actually, that's honestly surprisingly close in terms of height. Yeah, like I was gonna say up to the timer.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And like, if we wanted to like punish her for that turnip pull, like, what would we do? Like, this is about our run distance, right?
Yeah.
So then we can probably just like run over here and turn our headlights on.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I feel like if she pulls a turnip there, it's like she's in a situation where she has to like if she wants to attack me, she either throws the turnip and probably gets plowed through.
Yeah.
Or
we can just hit her out of it and by turning our headlights on and like take the free up smash.
Yeah.
Which also seems pretty good because we also have some runway here too. So like. This is atrocious. Like, this particular spot is atrocious. This is so bad for her. Because this is the neutral position. Like, as long as your Fox can, like, maintain this, like, this relative spacing, like, operating between, like, these zones, what the hell does she do? It's unclear. This is their entire complaint about this matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I remember I played versus Clay about a month, a couple months ago, because we hit each other in ranked, and I found it like I was playing around because I was like this was around when I noticed I was kind of lost versus Peach, so I was playing around with potential options. And one of the things I noticed worked particularly effectively was that I would go into essentially that range and just start lasering at infinitum. And I think like while it worked, I think the reason I never really clicked with it is because I still never figured out the other piece of that, which is actually hitting a hitbox out of a situation like that, as opposed to just lasering ad nauseum and then waiting for them to whiff dash attack.
I mean, like, you laugh, but like, what do you call this for Mango, right?
Yeah.
He's absolutely doing that. Like, I've seen him laser into shield like so many times on like Armada's dash attacks. Like,
yeah,
we joke, but like I actually think that is a component of making lasers work on these levels. I think one of the best things about Cody and Mango is that they don't really have a laser mode. They're just peppered into like their natural movements. And I think that makes them like much more it simultaneously gets the benefit of like why we laser in these fights, but like we get the benefit of like lasering, but like we're also getting the benefit of like the baiting component of like this mid-range. Like, look at that. He only fires 2. I think that you should never be firing more than 2.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly kind of what I'm getting at with like that's the problem that I had there was that I'm like, oh, if I shoot lasers here, I'm actually somewhat safe while also being really annoying. But it was like almost like I had like it's like I found
you figure out the first 2 steps so consistently, and then we just need the third one. But that's where we get
exactly. I was gonna say I found a wrench. I found a wrench on the floor, but the toolbox is still somewhere. I just couldn't find it. Like it was like I can't. Like I can. Damn, can I wrench this nut? But I can't actually put a table together.
Damn, can I beat this? Can I bludgeon this princess with this wrench? But like I can't hide the body.
Yeah, for that part of the session, I was just like, yeah, I can shoot lasers 500 times in a row, but actually getting this kill is going to be reliant on waiting for her to opt to dash attack. But like having that like access to that spacing with where I can actually win those aerial to aerial interactions is like it gives me a little bit more of a motive force, I guess is kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah. Honestly, like oof. You're very good at this game.
I just think about it. I've just been thinking about it for 10 years. That's all I've got. My problem is almost always like I'm missing this one thing that makes the matchup work, and I can't figure it out. So I just keep getting dunked in the head like an idiot.
Look at what just happened. This is that Nair I was telling you about.
Yeah, there it is, yeah. And it's funny, too, because it wasn't even on her Nair where it was in the blind spot. She tried to get over it and still just got hit by it.
Yeah. Well, like, the second one I'd say, like, actually was in the nut blind
Oh,
spot.
that one was, yeah.
Yeah, and, like, look, it didn't, beat it out perfectly, because, like, Triff is good. Like, he's gonna try to make it as difficult as possible. But, like, at the same time, like, look at how much advantage... Like, imagine what happens if Mango just lets this go, right? Like, Triff recovers, he's safe, like, but this adds so much tension. Like, he could have gotten the kill there, he could have gotten the kill there. Like, even if he doesn't get these kills, he's still creating opportunities for him to get the kill. And I think that, like, a lot of times, like, what happens in the Peach versus Fox matchup is, like, we don't, like, look for the kills enough, but we don't look for them in, like, with enough variety.
Makes sense. Yeah, it's true. I guess in situations like that, it's very much like just putting yourself in positions to get as many of those as possible, because one of them's going to hit once you get the correct, like, maybe the correct, like, soft read or something. You just have to have enough of them.
Yeah, and, like, the thing is, there's something, like, it's stronger to look proactively for those, like, for those kills. I think it's, I think it's generally better to look proactively for those KOs than it is to just, like, passively wait for them to happen. And I feel like a lot of times when we get into, like, laser mode, that is exactly what kind of, like, that is exactly the kind of situation that we incur. And I don't think that's, like, really where we want to be in this game. Because, like, whenever you're just, like, hanging out waiting to die, like, it's not a good look. Like,
Yeah.
or hanging out waiting for them to die, it's also just not a good look. Like, we have all the power of Fox at our disposal, and we're like, we're going second. We're committing to going second. Like, ick. No. Like, initiative is powerful. Initiative, it means that we are like representing that we can attack on beat 1. And like, while we don't always necessarily want to attack on beat 1, to deny ourselves the option of doing so is to embrace being Samus. And who the fuck wants to be Samus when we're Fox? Like, we have all the power of Fox. Like, Samus is like it's definitely a downgrade. Like, I don't know if it's like, if we're 20 times weaker or 8 times weaker, but like, we're definitely weaker. So yeah. Do we have any Peaches that we can like ping to have you fight? Like, I want to see if we like, is our star like floating around?
I could grab any of, I could grab Higgins.
Yeah, grab Higgins. Let's do some spectator and try to like put some of this into practice, because I think that would be good for us. I'm gonna give you my spectator code.
It's 5:55. Bro's almost certainly off of work. Yo, and you net play. Let me see. If it doesn't work, maybe I can grab Ryan R. Star Allen.
Tell them that.
Oh, I wonder if I could grab Mia. Mia's Peach.
Yeah.
As a. Is me even online? No.
At net play Peach. Who else could we?
Emoji. No, Ryan.
Oh, how good's Venus?
I don't want to. I hate saying it.
No,
but,
no, it's okay. It's okay. I get it. There's levels. It's fine.
She's newer.
Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Let me see here.
I could see if I can get my hands on Clay as well.
Sure.
Actually, what about this Discord? Is Clay even online? No. There's like 3 of these There's 3 of these people in existence.
Mm-hmm.
Could ping Melee online, but that might take a while.
You know what? Let's go into unranked or something, and we'll just try to like apply some of these concepts versus other characters. Because like, it's not like what we've gone over here is like not broadly applicable. Attacking somebody's head in this game is like usually like a pretty good place to be aiming anyway. So I have confidence that we can make this work, like, versus like, depending on what we draw with like a lot of things. Sure. So yeah.
Does the spectator ID work in unranked?
It'll work in unranked, yeah.
Okay.
Like, all you have to do is, like, so it's just, you have to have the game running, and then once the game's running, then you just enter it, share gameplay. Do.
Sure. Grab my glove. There we go.
Perfect. Yeah, because I was doing this with Monk earlier.
How'd that go?
It went great. He was like, we got him to, like, use back air. I was like, yo.
Hey.
I was like, new move unlocked. Let's go. I made him watch Weaven's back air and Nair Salt like for 8 minutes, and then I was like, okay. And then he was like, okay, but like I don't like it. And I'm like, okay, but please. And he's like, okay, fine.
I found a Marth.
All right, good enough. Marth, we can aim for the head too. Body bag, never had a chance. Let's go.
Yeah, sure. Ow!
You know what? Nobody. I think that every unranked Marth has the potential to be the best player in the world because no one can truly understand their intentions.
Oh. True. What could be going on in that brain?
I feel like he's simultaneously curing cancer while also like being like, yes, circle block, let's go. Got it in the circle. Like
the yellow stick goes in their direction.
Point at where they want to die with the yellow stick. Like, let's go. Oh. Stay under him with that one. Stay under him with like short up here, like when he lands on the platform.
Okay.
It's better positional advantage. Like when you don't land on the platform, because then like he has to get down, and then he also then has to go through you on the platform. Like he has to go through the platform, then you.
Right, I see.
Yeah. It's also really good versus floaty. It's really good versus floaties in general because they suck and they have to like they're slow at doing those things.
Oh.
You're so good. You're so good. Man, I took a game off this fox.
He's
Let's
gone.
go.
Beast.
Beast. No, but for real, how good do you want to be?
One. How good do I want to be? Okay. So this is a hard question for me to answer, because
It always is, but like, yeah, go off.
I feel as if you asked me this 5 years ago, I'd want to be as good as I was now. But now I feel like I don't really have a necessarily hard goal of how good I want to be. Melee is just an important part of my life and how I like regulate my emotions and my growth.
Okay.
And so I feel like every time I stagnate, I want to stop stagnating, and I will grow as a person in the progress.
Oh, so you're using it more of like a sport, like the way it was intended. That's a really good answer, and it's very healthy and psychologically good, but like it's also not very content farmable, so that's okay. That's okay.
Sorry, I want to beat Mango.
Don't lie to me. It's important that we are honest in these conversations.
This is true.
Yeah.
I do the Mango. My bad.
Yeah, no, it's okay. What I would say is, like, when you're doing that, like, down tilt, wave dash back, don't wave dash down. Because a lot of times, like, you're doing run cancels, but, like, he's just kind of, like, you're treat it like Sheik's forward tilt. Like, you know how to play Sheik, right?
Yeah.
Because you can put the star block in the star square, like in the star block in the star hole. It's more complicated than Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong just uses a circle, but
He's so good at using the circle, bro.
Donkey Kong is like low key, like the best. I think that Donkey Kong is actually like the most anti-meta character.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he's good versus Marth and Fox. Like he's only good versus Marth and Fox. But man, is he good against Marth and Fox.
What the fuck?
Oh, Ganon? Okay, let's go. So against him, you don't aim for the head so much. Like, you just kind of, like, prey on his moves being, like, terrible. So we just get in close, we, like, beat him up. Try to, like, imagine, like, all of his moves are Sheik's, like, a slightly longer Sheik's forward tilt. And then you just, like, bait and, like, punish around that.
Okay.
Nice. Good use of the far shield pressure stance. Like, when you just, like, backyard stayed outside of his range and waited for his next thing. That's good. That's really good. Most Foxes aren't good at that anymore. Like, a lot of them just, like, they're like, oh my god, I have to hit the shine! And they don't realize that the shine has actually restricted them, because it's, like, required them to then do something, because they're now interacting with the opponent's out of shield game. Even if it's favorable, like, they still have to do something, which is better than, like, the opponent has to escape shield, and you don't have to do anything at all.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I feel like I'm teaching you all the cheap shit.
What do you mean? It's valuable information.
You know exactly what I mean. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, God, like Tet.
Oh, balls.
But it's cool. My region, like, I've kind of like, I don't know. My region my region still doesn't like the way I like look at the game. Except for like the good people like Moki and stuff. I think it's because they kind of like have this like idea that the game is like more based on like reads and timings and things. And I think that like with Ed, with like Nunn being like the best player who came after me, like he is our champion after me. And I think that like they kind of like with Moki being the next one, like they kind of just have this like very romanticized view of the game and like how it works. And then I'm coming along being like, no, this was solved. Like, obviously he did something wrong here. Or, like, obviously he was dead. And they're just like, but timings! And I was like, but he was dead. And they're like, you've spoiled the movie. And I'm like, okay.
I don't know, I feel like the truth is somewhere in the middle of those two things. It's like where... Hey, don't... Okay. Sorry. I feel like the truth is in the middle is one of those two things where you have to understand what you're saying in order to play the game that they're saying.
I agree. And I always have maintained that Ed, like, I think that Ed is a much stronger player than me because I never really got into the human elements. Like I focused, I think, too much on like structure. I think that I let too much, like, it's something that SFAT like was critical of me like a long time ago and that eventually bit me. Listen to the teenagers, by the way. They know more than they're very wise, surprisingly. But yeah, like what they did, I didn't understand the human elements as well as like Ed did. So like eventually my like structure had diminishing returns, and that's one of the traps you can fall into with structure. You can think that that's like the be all end all. So I do agree with you that like it is important. Like I do agree with you that they're like both sides are important. I view it similarly to like that timing discussion we had, where it's like structure gives you like the lens to like know what the rules are. And it is ultimately better to have a good structure than a bad one. You can't fix, like, a bad playstyle, like a bad structure. I feel like you can't fix a bad structure with reads. But you can fix, an unfavorable structure with reads, if that makes sense.
I see what you're saying, yeah.
Like, they're a tool for overcoming, like, what your structure can't fix, but, like, at some point, the actual design becomes, like, too unstable for it to even work for that. So there is like a point, there's like a baseline of like what's required.
Yeah.
I will also say that as I've gotten better at this game and like kind of like come back, I've also learned that like from analyzing further and like learning how modern play works a lot better. I will say that like a lot of the things that I thought were not good about Ed's play, I like have much more appreciation for.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because, like, it was, like, I didn't get why it was good back then. Like, one big thing was, like, tech traps. Like, I didn't really understand how many of them he was actually doing, for example. Like, that would be a big thing.
Oh, Falcon's so good at it, too.
Mm-hmm. So, like, there were holes in my knowledge, and, like, yeah, it is what it is. Oh, my God. Okay, we need someone stronger. Like,
okay, alright.
We have 3 minutes left. Like,
go
on ranked. Go
on ranked? Alright, hold on. Alright.
We need somebody who isn't just gonna like crawl, we need somebody who isn't
roll
just
over
gonna
and die.
Roll over and die. Yeah.
Drizzy the Falco.
Okay. I don't know who that is, but let's go.
Yeah, cool.
Who is
let's
Drizzy?
see.
Is Drizzy like a beast?
I have no idea.
Honestly,
could be anywhere. I'm like Diamond 3, so it could be anywhere from Plat 1 to Grandmaster.
I've only gotten to Diamond 2 with Ness.
Beast. I'll say it. I don't know.
This guy is not as good as me.
True! many are saying this. I said many people have been saying this.
I feel like Drizzy will be better than me in a year, but like right now, actually, I don't know. Do you think I'm good?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I believe it.
Okay. I don't know how to feel about that because you like won every game but 2. So it's like...
Well, because I think like I don't know when I won the games, it was okay. Bye, Drizzy. I felt like it was like. But, like, when I talked about the Falco thing, where I was like, oh, like, your Falco does the things that Falco's bad at, that's the hard part.
Yeah.
That's what's running through my head, is that, no, you understand, like, the hardest part of the character. You just don't touch of death me like fucking Geo does, and shit like that.
Yeah, I don't know how to, I can't, like, be like, Shine Go Burr.
Yeah.
Honestly,
it's like, there's a lot of pressure stuff that comes with just playing the character a long time that, like, having good structure can't necessarily, like, do without the practice, you know?
Mm-hmm. I I think that he's just... Well, the other thing is his input complexity is just higher than, like... Again, the characters I played in tournament were Sheik and Peach versus Ice Climbers, right? So, like... And then Fox for a little bit, which... I'll have you know, has taken a game from Mewtwo King Smart. It was 15 years ago, but it still happened.
The goat.
But yeah, like, I played, like, a very lame-ass Fox that was, like, very Mewtwo King and Armada coded. And then, like, I also played, like... So it was just the punishment in, like, Dash Dance for, and Full Hop, like, for the obvious stuff, like, Engine. And then I played a Peach that was designed specifically to mutilate Ice Climber players, and then Sheik. And my Sheik was quite sick. But, like, these aren't input complex playstyles, because I didn't want to, like, have to do... Like, I wanted something that was sustainable. So I created ones that were. I think that Falco is kind of, like, pushing me to, like... Falco and Ness, like, weirdly enough, push me to, like, higher input... Like, they move me in more input, complex directions. So I find that that's, like, the hard part of them for me. Like, the ideas and how they work is, like, easy. It's just that, like, actually, like, executing it is hard.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Drizzy with the comeback.
Drizzy turned up.
I should, like, stop distracting you. Or I should distract you harder. Like,
it's a cool conversation, I don't know.
I should either distract you less or more. Good job.
Good question.
Good job aiming for Falco's head on that back air, by the way. And on that nair.
You think I'm gonna fall off again? You don't care. I'm just gonna keep doing it. Okay.
He's not me.
My bad!
He's not looking for it. Maybe he is. I don't know. Who can truly understand Drizzy's motives?
Who can really see inside the head of Drizzy? Balls.
Drizelda. His, like, alter ego. Like, Drizzy and Drizelda. But no.
I wonder how his Falcon is. You think the Drizzrobe is good?
The Drizzrobe. Drizane.
Oh shit.
I've wanted to, like, get public domain versions of the Smash characters, so that we could, like, sell, like, bootleg merch. And I think one of the ideas I had was, like, there was Murder Bird, who's just, like, this robot bird, and he would be the Falco clone. And he's just a killing machine. Like, he just shoots people, like, he shoots the characters randomly, just because he feels like it. And then and as a result of this, they have to purchase Cop Dog, which is, like, the Fox clone.
I see.
And he's just, like, all he does is chase around, like, Murder Bird, and just, like, yeah.
In like a Terminator way.
Yeah, he's like... But he also gets really mad about, like, the idea with the character was that he was gonna get really mad about, like, the smallest infractions. Like, you'd have, like, Rob, like, the Falcon clone, like, because it would be like Robin, but, like, you'd have, like, he jaywalks one time, and, like, Cop Dog just does not let it go. Like, he's just, like, chasing him the entire episode with that. I think that the idea with, like, with Zelda and Sheik was it was gonna be Zoe Ninja and Zoe Princess. No, Princess Zoe and Zoe Ninja. Yeah. I really want this to like, I don't know why this got into my head, but now it lives rent-free, and I feel like I'm gonna have to do something with it, and it's weird.
No, I like it. we need IP-free Melee. Many people have said this.
You would like I think you would like the Marth clone.
Yeah?
Murphy Edge. From the Kingdom of I think it was Ice Seal or something.
Ice Seal?
Yeah.
Ooh, does he wield an icicle?
It's like kind of like, have you ever played Warcraft?
No.
Okay, there's like a magic sword in that's like a soul eating weapon called Frostmourne that the prince uses. It would be like that. So every time he, like, tippers someone, like, a part of his heart, like, dies, but, like, he's cool with it, because he's just, like, he's an edgelord. He's just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need IP free Melee.
Only way to free Melee.
Let's go.
Right inside me.
Order of operations. Just cover, like, what you can with the back air, or posture for it, and then, like, deal with the other outcomes after. Oh, you can have shiny again.
True. Okay, hold on, wait. I just gotta kill this guy. I fucked it. No.
No, it's okay. Don't. You are in a new position. Don't worry about it. Just like
True.
Just fight. All right.
Ah. Okay. Jeez.
Nice. Let's go.
Hmm. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Jeez.
It was definitely Beast. I think that... Yeah, I'm gonna have to hit stop here so I can, like, see my husband for a bit before I work with the next person. But
Sure.
I think that, like, we kind of see, like, I think we can kind of see from those games, like, when I'm not distracting you the entire time, like, what we're kind of, like, aiming for with this. Like, it gives us the ability to contest the opponent in more positions, and I really think that, like, that's the biggest thing that's missing from your game right now. Like, more variety in terms of how we can contest the opponent effectively.
Okay, yeah.
What I would recommend doing that might help you is go onto Fight Core when you have a chance, and just take a look at what spots, when the opponent's in the air or on the ground, that they are not effective at covering. And then use that as, like, a basis for, like, how you kind of, like, plan where you go. I think that would actually do wonders for you. But that's, like, the only thing I would really say, because, like, yeah, not every character conforms to, like, that exact, like, pattern of, like, aim for the head.
Yeah.
And I think that you would be surprised at where some characters have openings that you might not expect.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah. Will you be okay with that? Is it enough for you to work on?
Yeah, I think so. I think if I run into a problem with matchups, I'm just gonna like just in general, if I run into like a situation where in my brain I'm like, I really just have no idea like how to approach actually challenging this like I did with Peaches and Air. Maybe reviewing the hitboxes a little bit could help for sure. Where it's like, okay, wait, it's actually weak here.
Amazing. All right, I'll leave you to it. Take care, Tet. Always a pleasure. And yeah,
Of course.
yeah, I whether you're here tomorrow or whether you're at the nightclub, I hope you. Yeah, if you're at nightclub, I hope you kill it. Okay.
All right, thanks. I'm gonna try to be there. So,
Sounds
all
like a
right,
plan. Take care.
peace.